the first that I became aware of the bike shed was when I read it off of the media. I wasn't responsible for it. I didn't approve monies for it because that's not the role of the Minister of State.
Ben Scallon from Gript Media.
Minister, just on the bike shed of the security hut again, you've said that the Minister responsible for the OPW isn't responsible for signing off on these sorts of decisions, and I'm wondering if you could elucidate what the role of the Minister is. I would have assumed that the Minister's job was to manage the day-to-day affairs, not at a granular level, but at least at a big picture level of how the OPW is running, but maybe you could explain.
So the Minister for the Office of Public Works is a Minister of State, doesn't sit at Cabinet and has responsibilities around the area of making sure that is answerable to the Dáil questions, particularly around the area of policy development, particularly around the area of developing responses to government requests around climate change, the built environment, our heritage and tourism. But as I said a while earlier, the accounting officer for the department is the chairman. The granular decisions, and you're quite right, the Minister doesn't make decisions or order particular projects to be done. That's not the role of the Minister for the Office of Public Works. It's neither not the role of the Minister for Education nor the Minister for Health. The accounting officer takes over responsibility. Once the monies are voted from the Dáil to the department, the expenditure then is carried out by the Secretary-General, in this case the Chairman of the Office of Public Works.
Do you think that it's a problem some representatives have raised it as an issue since this controversy has come to light, that there's no identifiable individual who is culpable for this, which everybody involved seems to agree is a mistake and that something wrong has been done here, but that we can't pinpoint? Obviously, you're saying you're not responsible. Nobody at the OPW is claiming responsibility or saying this is the person who signed off on the decision. Is that not a problem and a barrier potentially to preventing something like this from happening again in 6 months' time or less?
No, I don't think so, because to be fair to him, the Chairman of the Office of Public Works, the Secretary-General, John Conlon, went before the Public Accounts Committee and took responsibility for as the accounting officer, which would be the appropriate action of an accounting officer at every Public Accounts Committee meeting. And by the way, the Office of Public Works are before the Public Accounts Committee every year, detailing sets of accounts, spending, as will be my own Secretary-General, detailing sets of accounts on the expenditure of the public's money. Normally, the Chairman of the Office of Public Works time in front of the Public Accounts Committee has ironically been spent answering questions with regard to delays, with regard to planning permission, with regard to projects of huge scale, whether it is the defence of Cork City, whether it is the defence of this city, whether it is the defence of my own city in Limerick from climate change and flooding adaptation, and what normally, because I would watch a lot of the proceedings if I got the chance, a lot of the contributors would be complaining about the speed associated with conforming to the public spending code, conforming to the work type of contract, and asking why things can't be done quicker. So on the one hand, he and his predecessor would have been, in many ways, I suppose, not attacked, but certainly had a hard time over lengths of time the projects were taking. And on the other hand, he has taken leadership with regard to the current impasse. He has gone before the Public Accounts Committee. He's laid out how it has happened. He's laid out the costs. And he has, I think, given assurances as to the changes that he proposes to make as accounting officer to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Thanks very much, guys.
Very, very briefly on that, I mean, is that not a great endorsement of the OPW that it seems like there's many projects like the ones that we've been highlighting that are not only over budget but also late? I mean, does that not indicate that there's a much deeper systemic problem here at an organisational level? No, because if you get a chance, when the weather turns bad, I'd suggest that you go to Clonmel, Bandon, Clonakilty, Skibbereen, my own hometown of Newcastle West, and ask the people there about what the work is that the Office of Public Works do. Go up to Dublin Castle and ask any of the
million plus visitors that come out of that institution on a daily basis or on a yearly basis who go through it and are looked after by heritage guides. Talk to the men and women in this building, this very building, who make the dinners, who lay the tables and who look after state dignitaries. Talk to the people across the country who are looking after our environment in terms of making sure that we have a biosphere and that we have the protections that are out there in our rivers, in our lakes and in our woodlands. And ask what is actually, the local people on the ground's perception of the local OPW work, because what you'll find in this country is a footprint of the Office of Public Works at every single 4 crossroads in this country. Whether it is a drain that has to be unblocked, whether it's a Garda station that has to be maintained, whether it's a heritage site that has men and women from the local community who are looking after tens of thousands, if not millions of visitors, or whether you have large-scale investment like the Garda headquarters in Military Road, which has been built, or which was built recently, the restoration of the Customs House, the restoration of the Royal Hospital in Kilmainham. There is an unending amount of hugely positive work that goes on a daily basis, and you don't have to go only maybe 50 yards up the road to St. Stephen's Green and meet the constables there who look after, again, in the millions of visitors on an annual basis to St. Stephen's Green. It's an organisation that does very, very positive work. The chairman, the accounting officer, has said that he's not happy about this particular project. He is going to make changes, and I support him in that.
Thanks very much, guys. Okay, that's it.